Greetings and welcome to this episode of the Loveseat Therapist. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. And yes, I know it's been a long time since I've posted anything on the channel. I had promised you guys that I would be posting on days that I wasn't working, and I haven't posted for a very specific reason. Okay, it's because I have been in the middle of kind of stuck in this limbo in a whole bunch of different areas in my life. And rather than getting you guys channeling for tarot or oracle readings that have all of this noise from me in them, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So in a way, this episode of the Loveseat Therapist, like all of the episodes on the Loveseat Therapist playlist on my channel, are really me working stuff out and kind of sharing the experience, sharing what has worked, what hasn't worked for me personally, not as advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I am not a doctor. I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or anything like that. I am simply a woman of some years. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I am a woman of some years who has some experience and some knowledge and some wisdom to pass along. And that's the whole purpose of this playlist, just the whole purpose of this channel. Even my book, and I'm still going to be writing more books, but again, all of the things I'm in the middle of. So, first of all, let's just ask the question. Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling like you're caught in this limbo between where you are, how you're identifying where you are in your space right at the moment, and where you want to be? That there is some kind of difference between your current situation in whatever area of your life that is and what your preferred situation would be in that particular area of your life. So that is the purpose of this video. It's the purpose of my life, as I said, to simply just as we are all working our way as best we can through our own lives, we share that wisdom and that knowledge. You should be doing the exact same thing. If you don't have a YouTube channel already, consider doing that and just doing the same kind of thing I'm doing. I have a free app on my laptop computer that I use to record these. So it's virtually no cost to me except for the time, because I'm going through and finding pictures online that don't have copyright things attached to them that I'm not going to get in trouble for putting up there, and all of the content and all of that, and just kind of, I have a script which I've totally gone away from at the moment already with the very beginning of the video. So I hope you guys are enjoying this little pre-patter. I apologize. But are you feeling stuck, like you're stuck between the job that you know that you should be working at and the job that you're actually working at, or your partner, or the lack thereof? Do you feel like you've been waiting forever for your manifestation? Well, I can tell you you're not alone. It's not just me. It's not just you. So in this collective, in the human collective as a whole, there are more people who are not happy with every area in their lives than there are people who are happy with every area in their lives. In fact, do you know anybody who's happy with everything, the way everything's going? Right? Exactly. That's my point exactly. Okay? So coming from that understanding, knowing that what we are going through right at the moment, I still love this one line: your current situation is not your final destination. I have that written on a post-it note. I don't look at it all the time. It's next to my computer, but it's not in my line of sight when I'm working with the computer, however I'm doing that. But every now and then my gaze is just drawn to this piece of paper posted on my little organizer on my desk that says your current situation is not your final destination, unless you choose for it to be, right? So what I do want to say before we get actually into the weeds on this whole thing, okay, is that this video, this channel, my life, all of us, we should be doing this type of thing. It doesn't have to be a YouTube channel. It can be your Facebook posts or your Instagrams or TikToks or whatever, okay? We are all just working our way through this stuff with accountability and integrity. And that's it. It really is what all of these videos on this channel and my life is about, what we are all supposed to be striving for. If you're looking for a purpose in life, there it is, to live authentically. Go to the Authentic Self series if you haven't already gone through that. We've got all 7 chakras in there now. And this could easily be one of those on that playlist as well. But in any event, I know I'm not the only one going through these things, because my life and my work here isn't about how many likes I get on each video or how many subscribers there are to the channel or all that. It's about helping my world be a better place in how I live that life. And that is our purpose. So here we go. These are the aspects, the areas of our lives that I'm going to be looking at specifically, because these are things that are challenging me right at the moment. So as I said, I got a bunch of stuff. This isn't even all inclusive, but these are the big things that I know that a lot of people also have similar challenges with, we'll call them, right? So finances will be the first thing we look at, and then health, our environment, which can include our transportation, our living space, neighbors, whatever, and then also life, love, interest, partner, that type of thing, special person, our SP, okay? So we'll address each one individually, but for all of these, there are some key things that apply across all areas of our lives. And this is, you may recall if you've watched that Authentic Self series from my channel, or many, many other videos, this is the map of consciousness from David R. Hawkins that goes through the various emotional things that we're feeling at any one time, and kind of figuring out where we are in this flow of energy, because we know emotion is energy in motion. And are we in survival energy? Are we in reason and integrity energy? Are we in the spiritual paradigm is what he's calling it here, but the spiritual, our spiritual heaven, our nirvana, our samadhi, right? Our space where we are content with everything, And that's what we're always wanting to be acquiring more of in our lives. We have these moments where just at this moment, everything is perfect. Everything is perfect, regardless of what actually is happening. But in that moment, you are in that samadhi where you are one with everything, and it's all good. But most of the time, we're not there, to be honest, right? Well, and let's be honest always. That's the point of that authenticity, right? But feeling is a state of mind that you can choose. You can choose a different state of mind. As a matter of fact, we choose everything in our lives by giving attention to whatever is going on outside of us. We keep shaping our interior, our inner world, to match our external world, and it's actually the other way around. If we are in the business of manifesting consciously, intentionally, by design, by choice, then we need to be aware that what we are doing is adjusting our inner world, our inner state of being, to match the external. And it's the external that we're trying to get away from, that we're trying to move past and have behind us. So focusing on that stuff is not going to move you anywhere, is it? But if we are angry, say you're angry about a situation, you're frustrated, you're annoyed, you're irritated, you're just, if you could punch something, you probably would. Okay, so way, 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 way down in, where are we? Anger. Okay, that's not even the lowest of the emotions, but it's one that we are often in. We are angry because somebody didn't do something according to our expectations of them. Whatever the reason is, if you're angry about a situation or with some aspect of your life, can you possibly consider feeling some pride in yourself for the progress you've actually made in this? For number one, the things that you've survived, all of them up till now. Give yourself a pat on the back for even getting here, for even being here right now where you are in the first place. Because you and I both know not everybody would have been. Not everybody would have been able to survive what you have to this time, okay? Give yourself a pat on the back. You may not have made the best decisions now that you have that 2020 vision, but they were the best decisions you were able to make in that place and time. So can you move from anger at the situation to pride for at least getting here? To be honest, just considering how miraculous your existence is will change your mental filter. And your brain will start throwing new ideas at you as well. You'll be thinking, all right, this didn't work. I am proud of the fact that I survived, but that obviously didn't work. What can I try that might work? What might work? What actually can I do right at the moment? And here you are, voila, you are moving. As soon as you start asking those questions, you are no longer stuck, and you won't feel stuck. You'll feel motivation comes from movement, honey, not the other way around. If you're waiting to get motivated to make a change in your plans, you're going to die here. Okay? There we are. So we don't want to do that. We want to leave this behind. So let's move from anger at the situation to pride for being there, okay? Because your brain is going to start thinking of new ideas, new ways that you can be proud of yourself, okay? Follow those avenues of exploration. Look for things that you can do where you can commit that 2026, you are no longer going to be in this particular situation any longer from this moment. And as soon as you make that decision, as soon as you make that choice, you have moved. Okay. Let's talk about money, honey. First of all, let's remove can't from your vocabulary. There is always something you can do, regardless of your situation. I don't care if you're homeless on the street, sleeping under the bridge. There are things that you can do. You have money. Somehow you manage to get some kind of way to watch this video. You either have a library available with free computers, and you had little headphones that you could plug in there, because they won't let you listen to videos or audio in public without having that muted for other people. So you've got something. You've got something. You're either have it as your own personal possession, or it's something, it's a resource that you have available to you. All right? So there's always something you can work from. You are never starting from a place of zero. You have your wisdom and your knowledge and your experience from surviving from all of the stuff in the past. So what I've done, and I'm not telling you that this is the right thing to do. I'm not a financial planner or an accountant or anything like that. But I can tell you that I've been doing this for several months now, and it is working well for me personally, so it may work for you. That's why I'm putting it on the video here. Give it a try. If anything you're doing isn't working, that you're not seeing positive, consistent benefit from, There's always going to be things where sometimes something works for a while and then there's a glitch. You may need to modify the system that you've got, or just wait it out. Could be one of those little storms passing. Anyway, stop doing things that aren't working for you consistently. Simple. Okay? So what I've done is I've opened a savings account with 4% APR interest. That's more money than the 1% interest that I'm getting on my checking account with the same company. All right. And it's actually the company that I have my credit card with. So I've got these all linked. And I was able to open all of these, except for the credit card. I was able to open all of these online for free. Okay. I opened the savings account with a $10 deposit. Didn't matter how long that deposit was in there. It may have moved from the checking account to the savings account at that time, and then it moved right back into the checking account, so that I could get food or whatever, right? But I opened the savings account and it's linked to the credit card, and that's the most important part, all right? So I stopped buying things with the debit card. In the majority of situations, at least in the US, using a debit card, except for like utilities and rent and that kind of thing, but any of the merchant things that you do, the POS, point of sale, right? I believe it's what it's called. The majority of them, you get a better rate if there's any kind of cost to using the credit card as opposed to the debit card. So check for that. You can always make that adjustment. If you get better rates using the debit card, then that's what you should do. Okay? But what I've done is all of the food that I buy, all of the miscellaneous household items that I need, any type of clothing or personal care stuff, okay, is all being purchased by the credit card. Then I pay it immediately, like the very next day, within 24 hours, no more than 48 hours. Sometimes those transactions take a while to get processed through the credit card. But as soon as they are even showing up a lot of times, what I'll do is I pay them immediately out of the savings account. So I've thrown all of my income into the savings, all of it. It's getting more interest than the checking account. So the only thing that's going in the checking account is enough to keep it open and alive, right? Everything else is going in the savings account, so I can at least take advantage of that 4% APR. But we know my credit card interest is a whole lot more than 4%. So I'm not leaving any money in the savings account that I can use to pay the things that I'm actually spending that and using the credit card for at this time. I have a whole lot of credit on that credit card that's been used up already. Not a whole lot. So the whole point of this for me is to be paying off the credit card entirely. And the only way to do that is to not add more credit on top of it. So I had $200 that was available credit. That's not a whole lot, right? Very, very small amount. But I'm making sure that that stays there for the entire month. So if I spent $25 and my available credit goes down to $175, I pop in and pay $25 on the credit card from the savings directly immediately. This has done two things. It's made me very conscious of what I'm spending my money on. I haven't had to make a lean budget or anything like that. Just moving the money out of savings is so distasteful to me. It's enough to make me not want to do it unless I have to. Trust me. So it also allows that money to earn interest while it's sitting there in the savings account, even if it's just one day. Compound effects follow automatically from consistent and persistent actions. I'm going to say that again. Compound effects, compound benefits, follow automatically from consistent and persistent actions. The same is also true for things that you're doing that are not benefiting you. Compound not benefits, compound things that are making things worse, also accumulate with consistent and persistent actions. So Paying attention to what you're doing and what kind of results you're getting is crucial. What this has done is made me feel like I'm making some kind of progress getting out of stuck. It may be tortoise speed movement, but it's still movement, as in no longer stuck. And I also have a goal for this money, actually several goals, because I am in lack on several things that require money to address in my life. So that's my mission or goal for 2026, to get that stuff by my consistent and constant forward movement, regardless of the speed. So is there anywhere in your life that you can save even $1 a week? And consider maybe bumping down the thermostat 1 or 2 degrees, wearing an extra sweater, bathrobe. You don't want to know what I look like. That's why you don't ever see me. I usually look like a burrito in the winter because I'm stingy. I don't have a whole lot of free money, and I have to save it where I can, which means that I will turn down the thermostat a couple of degrees and wear an extra sweater, robe, whatever, to make up the difference. Drink a lot of hot liquids, okay? Expanding anywhere that you can save that money is going to bring you benefit. Make sure it's something you can do on a long term. Start out with $1 or $5 or $10, whatever is the maximum amount that you can realistically see yourself spending on yourself, investing in yourself every week, every month, no less often than that. We're all getting some kind of money on a semi-regular basis if you're not completely out of work and not getting any kind of assistance with that. Okay, but look into that as well. Do you qualify for utility bill help? I did. And I applied for it. Does it mean you have to swallow a little bit of pride? Yep. Did it help immensely knowing that with my conservative, bring it down a couple of degrees, I was able to extend that gift for myself? So I'm just putting it out there. Is there any way that you can save any kind of regular money on and have it set aside for you, investing in you, and for, the time being until you have like $100, or 500, 1,000, however much would actually make a difference in terms of what you use it for? Don't do anything with that money. Leave it alone, okay? If you have a dead-end job and you have no reasonable hope of advancement or even a raise, if you are not already doing this, you need to be submitting job applications while you keep your current job, okay? Be on Indeed every single day, either before you leave for work or when you come home. Make sure you have your updated resume and your profile already set up. Get that done, and then follow up every day on any new leads, any new jobs. Take the time for those interviews, even while you're working, okay? You can negotiate for the time and the place almost always, all right? Sacrifice your lunch hour for a Zoom or phone interview in your car or in the McDonald's bathroom, I don't care. Do what you can because you always have a choice. And as soon as you remember that and you understand whatever you've decided on doing, that's your choice. You made that choice to do that. You take responsibility for it. You're accountable for it. And hey, guess what? That is moving you out of stuck because now your brain's going to be thinking of other things you can be doing. I am telling you this. Expand your job skills. There are free online tutorials and courses for anything. Literally, you can learn how to be a better burger flipper by watching a tutorial online. I know that there are those out there. I looked. My point is, whatever you're doing, you can be better at it. You can look for opportunities at your work to expand your responsibilities. I'm a really good prepper also, as well as an assembler. And I've noticed that our prepping, sometimes it's a little on the lag side. If you guys need any help, let me know. Make yourself available for options at your job, as well as increasing your job skills and your job opportunities. And I'll tell you what, if you get another job offer, the first thing you should do is ask your boss how much they want you to stay. Right? That would be a question you would want to ask, right? So, sorry about that. Ba, 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 ba. Yes, you always have a choice. So, if you're the towel guy at the end of the car wash, you can get better job skills. You can learn how to be more interactive with the customers and start getting more tips, as well as expanding those skills in maybe sales, outside sales, cold calls. You like talking to people? Consider it. Doesn't have to be your career, doesn't have to be your end goal. It may just get you out of being the towel guy. Do whatever you can. You always have a choice. You don't have any limits except what you think you have. Next, health. I can't tell you. Even if you're bedridden, you can do snow angels under the covers or a similar easy activity, although always remember to follow your healthcare provider's advice before my advice or anything you hear online, okay? But I will tell you, this has been a challenge for me personally. I got into this really good exercise routine that I could do at home, that didn't cost me any money, that used the gym equipment that I'd collected over the years already, that just been collecting dust, right? And I started doing this thing, and I actually posted it on the revised or the modified 5x5, and I'll link that at the end of this description, okay? If you guys haven't checked that out already, I encourage you to do that, because I picked 5 areas of my life, and health was the first one, because we know, as they say, if you ain't got your health, you ain't got anything. When you are sick or you are injured, you already are limited in what is available for you to do. So trying to get out of stuck, for me, I pulled the tendon in my right arm, in the right elbow, gave myself tennis elbow from doing bicep curls the wrong way. Didn't realize it, was just going along swimmingly, months. I've been doing this for months. And all of a sudden, I can't move my arm without shooting pain. Just all the way through that area in the arm, just above the elbow. I looked it up and I'm like, well, heck. That's not what I said. But yeah, I'm being punished for doing things for my benefit. No. I am just needing to be better educated on how I'm doing it. But in the meantime, I have to deal with an arm, and I'm right-handed. So not being able to use this arm has been, I can't even tell you what kind of a challenge it is. If you've had anything like that happen, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm an impatient patient, I tell people. So what I've done is, well, first of all, I have if I can't do bicep curls at the moment, what can I do? So there's that question. If I can't do this, what can I do? If I don't have this option available to me, what other options are there? And as soon as you start asking yourself those questions, you will get the answers. Your mind will start coming up with ideas and suggestions. The other thing that I did, again, part of that 505, the modified 505, is to have the bare minimum. So I always do sit-ups. And I'll tell you what, as soon as I do sit-ups, then I'm more inclined to be doing the rest of the exercises because I'm already moving. But I just make that commitment. At the barest minimum, I will do the sit-ups. And like I said, then I do the sit-ups and I stand up, and that just kind of leads me into the leg lifts, the standing leg lifts. None of those have anything to do with my arm. I can hold it conveniently at my side like I have an invisible sling because I can't afford to buy one. And do those exercises and do what I can. Do the curls correctly now, hammer curls, not bicep curl, but hammer curls with the left arm to make sure I continue doing what I can. Okay? And in the meantime, the right arm, crazy as it sounds, got better within a week. And this is supposed to be something that takes like months to recover from. So I either gave myself a very small, mild version of it, or I am an excellent manifester of getting out of pain, because I'll just be honest. I'm not a fan of pain. So not a fan of getting sick at all. All right. But I have seen people in wheelchairs with MS working out. They just have the trainer help them attach weights to their arms and legs, and off they go. Off they go. And they are thriving. Okay, a friend of mine recovering from cancer with the surgeries and the chemo, with her doctor's approval, started out a workout routine as part of her healing process. Okay, now those are big things, you know, having a broken bone like the picture in front of us here, those are big things. But even a cold, even having a cold can be miserable and make you feel like you cannot do anything. But I'm telling you right now, and the science backs this up, so it's not coming just from me, but I can tell you how it affected me personally. Moving, any kind of regular movement on a daily basis is going to make you feel stronger and healthier. You'll feel good for doing it, which raises your self-image, your confidence, your trust in yourself. And you'll feel better releasing all of those endorphins that come from a physical activity. And those endorphins help you get better faster. Even if you have a terminal illness, you will feel better for having the regular movement, and it may extend your life past where the doctor said that you had. It may actually change the diagnosis. Just consider it, because it won't do you any harm to try it. Check with your doctor always, but regular movement is going to change your life. It's going to change your life in terms of having a partner. Now, I feel you. If you have cobwebs growing on your dating shoes, I get it. I get it, you know. I will just tell you, especially with COVID, it seems to have gotten a whole lot easier to not be connected to people. And if you're a man, or you identify as a male person, and dresses and heels and a purse aren't really your thing, imagining you in your spiffiest look, whatever it is, with the cobwebs, okay? All right? It's easy to get comfortable feeling sad, lonely, and disconnected, okay? And to be honest, social media and the internet in general have made it all too easy to stay connected, or to make you think you are staying connected without making any real human connection. You know, the plain truth is that humans need other humans for contact on a regular basis. I think the worst thing that COVID brought was this sense that isolation means safety. It doesn't. It's a downward spiral that just gets deeper. So, how do we get out of this? How do we get out of this hole? You go and do shit. Do stuff. Okay, I saw a video recently about something called Kevin's Rule. I highly recommend you watch any of those videos. I can't remember the name of the speaker, but you probably know who I'm talking about. I just love this idea. For Kevin's Rule, plan 6 mini adventures throughout the year. Doesn't have to be anything. The pictures up here just to give you some ideas, okay? You may not live in San Francisco, and going to the Golden Gate Bridge for some kind of activity may not be something that's available to you, okay? But plan 6 mini adventures throughout the year. If you can sign up or do something that commits you to an event, do that. Assume you're going to be strong and healthy. Assume you're going to have the transportation. Assume you're going to have the finances if you need the finances. I personally picked like just about everything was free or within $10. And if I don't have $10 saved up in the next 3 months, I'm not following my own advice on the financial, right? So there we are. I picked a lot of free events. I put them on the calendar. You have to calendar them. If you can make some kind of RSVP on it, get the tickets, whatever, they're waiting for me at the box office under Kat Morgan. There they are. Do that. You have to get it on the calendar. You have to make that commitment. Make a public declaration to your friends and family, your partner. I'm going on 6 mini adventures this year. So many different benefits from doing that. One of them is that it gets you out of your house. It gets you moving through new circles, through new human contact, all right? Calendar them, make them non-negotiable. Yes, things may come up between now and then, and you may have to make a contingent or a secondary planned event in place of, but commit to 6 mini adventures every year. If you're comfortable with it, set up a profile on a dating app or website. Go to the park or the library or an activity center in your area. Check out the meetup things. There's a bunch of free things in your specific little neighborhood. I guarantee you, within walking distance. You don't need a car for, and they're free. Look them up, okay? Don't go with the intention of finding your SP. Don't go with any intention at all except to enjoy the event, okay? That's the only expectation. Go right back to Bashar. Have no expectations. Simply enjoy the opportunity, wherever it is, whatever you're doing, okay? You may not find your SP in the first week or month or ever, but you won't feel the lack as much, and you'll acquire a whole bunch of new friends that are all SPs in their own way for you. Things aren't permanent. Everything changes. So let's talk about your environment. All right, this is not what my location looks like. But you may be living in a place like this or something less. You may be living in a less than perfect residence, we'll just say, okay? It may be the neighborhood and neighbors, or it may be stuff that keeps breaking in your house, whatever the situation. The lens that you are viewing the situation through is going to affect not only your interpretation, but the outcome. And I'm going to refer to something called the reticular activating system, the RAS, and there's a bunch, a billion probably, YouTube videos on that. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but you have a filter, and it excludes things that don't match your current emotion. Okay? So this is really, really important, all right? Whatever the situation, the lens you're viewing the situation through is going to affect not only your interpretation, but what happens. So that's the first step. It's really the first step for any of these areas in your life. How you see a situation, it's like putting on tinted sunglasses, you know? You're going to see them through that filter, and it's going to determine what you see as options. So how do we create more options? It isn't sexy, but it's attractive because it follows the plan for your manifestation. Start planning for the move. Start saving money, even if it's $5 a month, and don't touch the money. Like I said before, if you have to give the $5 bill to your bestie or set up a 2-party savings account to put that money into every month, do it. Then bump it up every 3 months. Even $1 more a month will make a difference, even although, $5 increments are obviously going to move you faster. So the larger the chunk, the bigger the leap. But you have to do it every month. You have to do it every month. Now, if you love your place, but the neighborhood or the neighbors are the issue, the filter is going to be the cure. Because we can't change what other people do. We can't change how they act. Now, I live in an apartment, and it's better than the one that I left. So I can, even when I'm most frustrated and angry with whatever I'm looking at in my present environment, I can always be proud of the forward progress I made in getting out of the previous one, okay? Right? So, if you change your filter, you're going to change what you see, and you are going to make a positive forward movement. Plain and simple, okay? If you're proactively addressing your financial situation, as we discussed it previously, start shopping for a new house or apartment. Just look. It's like the job shopping, okay? You don't have to make a financial commitment to something. Just figure out what the next best place is for you. Start organizing your house. Donate stuff that you haven't worn in the past 5 years. Throw away things that have expired, okay? If you don't want to move it, lose it. All right, go through the drawers and closets. Look under the bed and behind and under the dressers, okay? Get rid of that stuff. If the neighborhood is the issue, the filter is going to be the cure, okay? So I've done the saving monthly, starting the things, and I'm clearing out the clutter, so I feel like I'm making progress. Although nothing in my external world has actually changed. So my situation is my neighbors leave trash in the yard. They get their mail from the mailboxes and they just drop whatever they don't want, the advertisements and stuff, on the ground. And honestly, it bugs me way more than it should probably, but I've always been a litter picker-upper. From the time I was in high school, people would throw stuff at the trash can and miss. Come along behind them, disdainfully pick it up and drop it very, very visually for them. Okay, I was always making a point. It's kind of, I don't want to be the litter police, but I kind of have developed that as part of my persona, so I'm just rocking it, okay? I can't change what they are doing, but I don't have to make I don't have to make a judgment about them. I don't even have to make a judgment about their actions. I can just pick up the trash that blows into my yard. I can just do that, okay? And whenever I see the neighbors, I can make a point of saying how beautiful the yard looks right now, how much I'm enjoying the flowers that are coming up and not having the trash in the middle of the weeds, that it's something that I'm sure that they look forward to too, and isn't it lovely with the weather, whatever the weather is, that we don't have to deal with the trash in the yard. And I encourage the positive behavior, and you know what? The trash has gone down significantly. Okay? And my irritation. Whatever trash I do find, like roll the eyes, go ahead, be slightly annoyed, but only be that very, very temporarily. You don't have to live there. Just like you don't have to live in that place where the trash becomes the focus. When you change your focus, the things you focus on will change. Okay? What is our next thing here? Moving on. Oh yes, the car. All right, something about transportation. Transportation woes are something a lot of people face. They either don't have a car, or the car they have doesn't run well or dependably, or uses a lot of gas. Maybe they have one of those hybrids and just found out the battery is dying and that's like $8,000. There's things that happen with our transportation. For me, personally, my car died a couple years ago, and I haven't had the money to repair or replace it between now and then. So I've been dealing with mass transportation, which actually looks like this where I live. This is one of the downtown bus stops where I live. So taking public transportation can be a challenge in and of itself. What I'm doing is taking that active approach with my savings, and I've set a goal, a specific amount that will remain there untouched after making those payments to the credit card every time I use it, right? There's an amount of money that I have set for myself that I will have at the end of the month in that savings account. And it's got to go up that same amount every month. And I've been successful at this. I have made that goal for the past several months. Now, sometimes it means scrounging through the freezer and the cupboards for meals for a day or two until the next payment comes in. For now, I know I won't be living paycheck to paycheck for long now because I'm taking those actions. I'm developing skills. I'm looking at jobs where I can apply, where maybe I don't have that job skill right now, but I can get it super fast online. And then I can apply for the job and I can make more money. You know what I'm saying? There's options. So I'm taking the active approach with my savings, and I am meeting that goal every month. And it gets easier and easier every month as I see the balance going up and up ever so slowly, but still making progress, moving up. It makes it easier to make better decisions on a day-to-day basis on what I'm putting that money into, and less that I have to rely on the next bit of money coming in. That's freedom. That's freedom. All of these situations may not be situations that you are dealing with personally right now. Your challenges may be entirely different, but many of the actions I've outlined here, as I've said before, can be modified for really any situation. Okay? So this is my slide. This is my work. You may have seen it posted on Facebook a million years ago. The point of all of this is to simply remind you of what you already know. You aren't really stuck. You're just focused on what happened in the past from the view of the rearview mirror, rather than looking forward to the future you want to move towards. Okay? You are the sky. Storms are going to come and go, always. Regardless of how amazing anything or everything is going in your life right now, stuff is going to happen. Understanding and remembering that there is always a sun in the sky wherever you are. You are always the sky. Okay? You always have that identity. You are the victor. You've made it this far. Congratulations. And you've made it this far to the, I didn't realize, I haven't even looked at the counter. Yeah, I do hope that something in this video helped you, resonated with you, gave you some kind of ideas on things that you can do in your own life, wherever you are, whatever you're dealing with, okay? If you want to leave a comment, feel free to do that. That's the reason why that comment section is there. It's for you. The only reason why I have this channel is because you are here. So thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, if you haven't already liked and subscribed and you want to do that, that's fine. And if you're looking for a foolproof plan to supercharge your forward progress in all areas of your life, you should check out this next video if you haven't already watched it. As I promised, there it is. I love you. You are amazing. You are a victor. You are a conqueror. You're not just a survivor. You're a thriver. So go be brave. Go be authentic. Go be honest. And go get it, honey. I love you. Namaste and ciao for now.